Students can trade up their old t-shirts from other schools and get a new Texas State shirt in return. Students who don't have shirts to offer can still participate by donating $5 to a Texas State scholarship fund.
We target a lot of incoming freshmen, and so that's all they have. But we try to encourage them to trade up from other universities.
The Texas State shirts have different designs on them every semester. Students can submit their ideas through the Alumni Association page, and the best one gets featured on the shirt.
I know Texas State has a lot of really pretty shirts every year, and I don't have the money to afford brand new ones, so I thought a trade up would be really cool, especially if it helps them out too.
Some students look forward to this every semester.
I did last semester and the semester before that, and I plan to do it again whenever they have the next one.
The Texas State Alumni Association hosts t-shirt trade-ups every semester in the quad. For more information, please be sure to visit the Pride and Traditions page on the Texas State website. This is Jasmine Torres for Bobcat Update.
What started out as a simple altar display honoring the dead has turned into an annual event hosted by the Honors College in celebration of the Hispanic holiday.
To try to capture something else cultural that we're trying to explore and share with people who might not be familiar with the holiday, the Day of the Dead.
The Honors College, alongside with the Office of Student Diversity and Inclusion and the Office of Equity and Access, celebrated El Día de los Muertos at the LBJ Student Center with live music, food, and an altar contest.
We have to dedicate it to someone, and I dedicated it to my grandma who passed away, and she was always super happy, the sunshine of my life.
The purpose of the altar is to commemorate loved ones who have passed.
So it does have an important significance because we were able to remember our loved ones and be happy about it. I don't always celebrate it with my family, but I do try to remember my loved ones.
Day of the Dead is a tradition that has been celebrated for thousands of years, tracing back to the indigenous tribes in Mexico. For Bobcat Update, I'm Alejandra Avila.
From a distance, they appear to be just painted plates, but the message they hold for Menjivar, assistant professor of the School of Art and Design, is much deeper.
One of the reasons that I was really drawn to the Last Supper is because I think it does a really good job of providing some context for us to begin to talk about capital punishment as a society, and also to look at larger issues in the criminal justice system.
The Last Supper is an exhibit by artist Julie Green representing the dehumanization of last meal requests for inmates on death row. In keeping with the theme, ex-inmates whose stay in prison ranged from 10 to almost 30 years were invited to speak on their experiences.
You think, no, I'm a person, I'm an individual, I deserve better than this, but am I ever going to be loved? Am I ever going to find something? And then there's moments where you don't even think about the world, where you're just watching TV and you're playing handball.
Renaud, who spent 27 years in prison, is now an organizer for the Center for Community Change, where he's working to end mass incarceration. For Bobcat Update, I'm Aubrey Darty.
This exhibit highlights the history of Texas State prisons and demonstrates the changes that led to the establishment of the modern Texas Department of Criminal Justice.
When people think about convicts, it's this kind of concept of the other, when in reality, these people are just like you and me, and they're just in a bad situation.
Some students find this exhibit fascinating and learn new things about the Texas prison system.
I also learned that there was rodeos, that the prison hosted rodeos, and I thought that was pretty interesting because I was thinking so much funding went into an entertainment to put prisoners to work.
Students can leave a note by the exhibit describing how they felt seeing it.
So many people have come out and said they were innocent and they were framed and they're put in prison for wrong reasons. So I think that having it here definitely keeps the conversation going.
Any Texas State student can visit the Catching the Chain exhibit on the first floor of the Alkek Library from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. It will be on display until December 19th. For more information, please be sure to visit the Alkek Library page. This is Jasmine Torres for Bobcat Update.
The Office of Equity and Access reports that nearly 50% of reported cases remain anonymous, and some never complete the investigation process. Texas State's Title IX coordinator, Dr. Gilda Garcia, thinks that there is a social stigma that makes victims feel like there will be some type of negative retribution on the victims.
Some people are ashamed to say I was drinking or I drank too much, and they don't want to say that. And I want to strongly encourage people to report when they've been the victim of sexual misconduct.
Once the Office of Equity and Access receives a report of a sexual assault, they open an investigation and review all the evidence. If the office issues a finding for a student, the case is then transferred to the Dean of Students for a verdict.
We also try to make sure that all persons involved are safe and have due process.
Dr. Garcia believes the best way to combat this sexual harassment culture is to report misconduct and don't turn a cold shoulder. Don't be a bystander, be an upstander. Reporting for Bobcat Update, I'm Thad Bennett.